mentally taught me the power of the soul. Lights up, mics up, time to reveal. Inside the revolution, my legends are real. The revolution starts now.
Welcome to Inside the Revolution, the show where rumors ignite, rankings collide, and wrestling takes center stage. I'm Chris Catalyst, your guide to everything Total Wrestling Revolution.
And I'm Maddie Mayhem, the queen of chaos and your backstage pass to all the drama, action, and mayhem of TWR. Let's crank up the chaos and dive into this revolution, Chris.
Absolutely, Maddie. This is the first ever episode of Inside the Revolution, and we are so excited to kick things off. Before we get into the juicy details of TWR's latest show, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves. After all, we're your new best friends when it comes to wrestling podcasts.
That's right, Chris. You go first. Who is Chris Catalyst?
Glad you asked. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a kid. My first memory of wrestling was sitting in my living room with my older brother, watching WrestleMania 10. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. That match blew my mind. From that moment, I was hooked. I've always been fascinated by the art of storytelling in the ring. Wrestling isn't just about physicality, it's drama, athleticism, and charisma all rolled into one. As for TWR, what I love most is the depth of the characters and how every rivalry feels personal. There's something raw and real about this promotion that keeps me coming back. Fun fact, Maddie and I actually met at a live wrestling event. It was a local indie show, and we ended up sitting next to each other. By the end of the night, we were debating who'd make the better world champion. And here we are today.
You forgot to mention that I won that debate.
Sure you did. Anyways, your turn, Maddie. Tell the world about yourself.
Oh, where do I even start? My wrestling journey started a little differently. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch wrestling, so naturally, I snuck out to watch it with my cousins. The first match I ever saw was Trish Stratus versus Lita, and I thought, these women are superheroes. I fell in love with the larger-than-life personalities and the idea that anyone could fight for glory. For me, TWR is the perfect mix of grit and glamour. I'm all about those explosive rivalries and shocking twists. My favorite wrestling moment of all time? Probably when Eddie Guerrero won the WWE Championship. The emotion of that night was unforgettable. And Chris is right. We bonded over our love of wrestling, and now we get to share that passion with all of you. Speaking of which, Chris, let's not keep the listeners waiting. What's on the card today?
Glad you asked, Maddie. We're breaking down the last Total Wrestling Revolution spray down before their extended hiatus, and wow, what a night it was. Let's dive right into the action. First up, we had Ivy Nichols taking on Caitlin Abigail. Let me tell you, Maddie, Ivy is absolutely on fire right now.
She's unstoppable, Chris. It's like she's channeling some kind of untouchable energy. With this win, she's skyrocketing up the women's power rankings. I think she's ready to challenge for the title sooner rather than later.
Agreed. Keep an eye on Ivy, folks. She's the definition of momentum.
Next, we had some backstage drama. Jimmy Air Smith and Drake Turner got into it with the hallway. Apparently, Jimmy and Drake feel like they're being overlooked in the tag rankings.
Can you blame them? But DJ Hall made a great point. He and Wayne Shaddix picked up a big win at Blackout, while Jimmy and Drake took the L. And now these two teams are set for a quote-unquote friendly tag match on the next show.
Friendly? In wrestling, we'll see how long that lasts.
Moving on, Jerry Starfall defeated Ultimo Typhoon in an absolute barn burner. Jerry is channeling all his rage toward Alfred Solomon, and it's making him dangerous. He's looking better than ever, Maddie.
Dangerous is an understatement. Jerry's out for blood, and I don't think Alfred Solomon realizes just how much trouble he's in.
Now, before we get to the main event, let's take a quick pause to thank our amazing Patreon subscribers. You guys keep the revolution alive.
That's right. If you want to join the revolution, head over to patreon.com/official DJ Hall. Memberships start at just $2 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content, early episodes, and more. Thank you for your support.
All right, back to the action. The main event saw Aiden Graves take on Owen Wolf, and man, what a match it was.
Owen had it in the bag, Chris. He was in complete control toward the end. But then Father James Rogers showed up, hit a discipleship on Owen, and handed the win to Aiden Graves.
The big question now is, has Aiden joined Father's church? Or is this just another one of Father's mind games to pull Aiden into his orbit?
Either way, it's got everyone talking. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out.
That wraps up our breakdown of the show. Thanks for tuning in to Inside the Revolution. Remember, this is your new weekly podcast, and we've got more in store. We might even drop exclusive extra episodes on Patreon, so don't miss out.
And don't forget, the next Total Wrestling Revolution show is going live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Set your reminders, folks. You won't want to miss it.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep the revolution alive.
And stay chaotic, my friends.